Advocate Sesi Baloyi officially warned Vusimuzi Matlala at the Matlala Commission of Inquiry when Vusimuzi refused to answer questions without a legal ground. She said failure to answer will leave you with the legal consequences. Let's listen more on what she has said.
You, before the commission, you have only two bases that excuse you lawfully from answering questions. It is it's privileged information between you and your lawyers, and therefore you refuse to answer on that basis. The law recognizes that. Two, you have the privilege not to self-incriminate. Those are the two legally recognized bases on which you may refuse to answer questions. If it doesn't fall within those two categories, then you are simply refusing to answer questions, and the law requires that you answer questions. If your position is, I refuse, it's what the commission has to deal with. The law regulates what happens when we deal with a witness who refuses to answer questions on grounds that are not recognized in the law. So it's not open to you to refuse, and that's the end of the discussion. It does have consequences, and I think you should be alerted to that you have an obligation to answer satisfactorily, subject to the two exceptions, and you must place yourself within the two exceptions for you to be excused from answering. Otherwise, you are a witness who refuses to answer questions, and it has its own consequences on you. So maybe you need to be clear. If it's a case of, I don't want to answer the question, then we engage with you, and Ms. Hassim engages with you on that basis. Your legal advisors will also tell you what is the consequence of that. I assume they have done so. But I think be under no misapprehension. Outside of the two exceptions, you are not entitled to say, I don't want to answer a question because I was asked the same question by the police. Go get your answers from the police, which is, it's strange that you would even say that, because if you say go get the answers from the police, it means you don't object to us having those answers. If we had the means to demand from the people that interviewed you, if you are happy for us to get that information and we had the means to get it from them, it really means you do not have any principal objection to answering those questions or us having access to those answers. The long and short of what I'm saying is you have only two exceptions that would justify you in law to refuse to answer questions. Otherwise, you are a witness who's refusing to cooperate and to provide satisfactory answers, and the commission will have to deal with you on that basis. I don't know if you want to comment, if you have anything to say.
Yes, I wish to. Firstly, Commissioner, I said not get answers from the police. I said you can verify if indeed they ask me questions. I did not say you must get the answers from them. So
okay, my misunderstanding.
I need to clarify that. And I'm not here because I want to frustrate the process of the commission. I also want to help, but I also need to know where I stand legally, that whatever I do, it won't implicate me. So since there's an ongoing investigation, which I'm aware of, so I thought that there's a legal base on why I do not want to answer that question. So it's not like I do not want to because of I don't care what. So it's not like that. So I said if there is a question that it involves ES General Senona, but it's not part of what they are investigating, I'm willing to answer that question. So I do not know, because the same question that I've been asked here, I've been asked by the same people who are investigating the case. So now, what is their intention about the question? I do not know that. So.
Maybe lastly from me, whatever further engagement Ms. Hassim is going to have with you on this, that perhaps you should also be reminded and be mindful that you have testified before the ad hoc committee on relating to not just General Sinona. You were asked specific questions, you answered, and that's a public record. So some of the questions will not be placing new matter before the commission that is not previously available to the public, and that which you testified to in the ad hoc committee, we are entitled to put it to you. There's nothing that says we can't put it to you. It's up to you how you choose to respond to it, but it is material that is before us. You have testified to under oath, and we are entitled to put it to you. So the topic of General Sinona is not off the table, can never be off the table. You have been advised from the commissioners, hopefully from your legal team, but you've also heard the evidence leaders say that there's no umbrella topics that are off the table. You have to listen to each question and then say why that question would implicate you, an answer to that question would implicate you. And you unfortunately have to do it that painful way of each question, state why that would implicate you. It's not clear, for example, to me, why repeating the answer you gave to the ad hoc committee of when you met General Sinona, why that would implicate you. It's not clear until you explain that, well, if I give you that answer, it potentially discloses my involvement in unlawful conduct, because that's how it must work.